Now, my girl Tomi Lahrens has been making some really bold statements about the group Black Lives Matter. Yeah, let's go back a little bit. Maybe forget that ever happened, because, whew. Alright, so let's talk about that. What is Black Lives Matter, and what does it mean? So, what is Black Lives Matter? Well, according to the Black Lives Matter website, the Black Lives Matter Global Network is a chapter-based, member-led organization whose mission is to build local power and to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by the state and vigilantes. So, that doesn't sound all that bad to me. So why are people so up in arms about this group who's trying to protect targeted minorities in certain areas? I don't understand it. Let's dig a little deeper. The main arguments about Black Lives Matter is just this statement alone. All lives matter. And a lot of people are saying, obviously all lives matter. Like, I don't know why you guys are trying to say Black Lives Matter more than the rest of our lives. But they're not. The big problem with the statement all lives matter is that it's not completely false. When you're using it in a way to not combat the Black Lives Matter movement, it's valid. All lives do matter, but not in the way that people are trying to say it does when they're trying to combat the Black Lives Matter movement. People are saying that because Black Lives Matter has the name Black Lives Matter, that other lives matter less or don't matter. But that's not in any way what the Black Lives Matter movement is trying to say. Their name isn't Black Lives Matter more, like some people would like to suggest. The reason that the movement is called Black Lives Matter is because recent events and also the history of American oppression against Black people has treated them like they don't matter. For example, going to the topic of police brutality, 31% of all people killed by the police are Black, yet they only make up 13% of the US population. So police kill a disproportionate number of Black people. Police brutality and police searches are much more likely to occur in proportion to the US population to African Americans. The reason that we say Black Lives Matter is because there are not just issues in dealing with the police. African Americans still face discrimination in the courts, when applying for a loan or mortgage, in the workplace, in stores and restaurants, and even when voting in elections. We say Black Lives Matter because at this point in time, African Americans in this country are not treated equally to white Americans. So if you say all lives matter, in a way to combat the phrase Black Lives Matter, you need to recognize the inequalities that still exist in this world. Because if you're going to say all lives matter just because you think they do, then look at the facts. Because it would be amazing if you, who says all lives matter, could fight for all lives. Because if you really do believe that all lives matter, you would support Black Lives Matter because you'd realize that there is still an intense racial divide in this country that has led to a large amount of oppression of minorities. If you believe all lives matter, then you believe Black Lives Matter. And if you're just saying all lives matter and don't believe that Black Lives Matter, and you're trying to combat the phrase Black Lives Matter, then you don't believe all lives matter. You believe that white lives matter more than Black lives, and you don't want to face the reality of inequality in this country. You don't want to admit that you are given so much more because of the lottery of birth. You need to realize that if you believe all lives matter, then you would support Black Lives Matter. Hey guys, me and the US presidents back here. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas of what you want me to talk about, just comment below. Subscribe if you want to see and hear more, and thanks.